converted Cold War bunkers and missile silos to specially outfitted yachts, a doomsday industry caters to the mega rich. Luxury bunkers with indoor pools, artificial sunlight, and supplies to stay sealed off from the world for years.
The billionaires, they understand that they're playing a dangerous game, that they are running out of room to externalize the damage of the way their companies operate. Eventually, there's going to be, the social unrest that leads to your undoing, which is why these same people are looking at creating bomb shelters. The most powerful people in the world, they see themselves as utterly incapable of actually creating a future in which everything's gonna be okay.
Wow, that won't give me nightmares at all. Everything's gonna be great. Now, according to Forbes, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg has an estimated net worth of $125 billion, with a B, $billion.
He works harder. He works harder than everybody.
I mean, he might, but $125 billion seems a little excessive. Okay, now with that said, he's spending hundreds of millions of that money on a colossal compound on the island of Kauai, complete with a massive doomsday bunker. What is it with billionaires and their doomsday bunkers? It's like we're destroying the planet. And so we need a safe haven from the destruction we're creating. Okay, so rest assured, even if the rest of us get a little dinged up by climate change, the growing instability caused by economic disparity, or maybe even artificial intelligence gone rogue, Zuck will be just fine. Rest assured. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. And by the way, if we do find ourselves in a doomsday scenario, if I had the resources to survive in an underground bunker, I wouldn't do it. I would want to go. I don't want to live in a doomsday world. Like if I were in The Walking Dead, I would want to die in the zombie apocalypse. I don't want to try to survive in the zombie apocalypse. That's not a life worth living.
Yeah, I think honestly though, maybe a fitting punishment for some people. Like I'm sure Elon Musk has got one of these things. Well, imagine the end of the world falls, Elon manages to make it to his bunker, he's down there, and now he needs to spend the rest of his life alone in a room with Elon Musk.
Oh my God.
And he can't tweet to anyone. There's no lackeys to laugh at his jokes.
Yeah,
that is hell for him. I hope he lives a long time.
If everything is destroyed, there's no enjoyment left in life. Okay, anyway, but let's get back to Zuckerberg's bunker. Let's talk about the digs, okay? What will it include? Well, Wired actually recently published a massive investigation of this compound, and here's what they discovered. So Zuckerberg began buying up the 1,400 acres that make up the property, which is called the Koolau Ranch. He bought it in 2014. So the ranch will, according to planning documents, include a 5,000 square foot underground shelter, have its own energy and food supplies, and when coupled with land purchase prices, will cost in excess of $270 million.
How is there not a wealth tax?
So the partially completed compound consists of more than a dozen buildings and at least 30 bedrooms and 30 bathrooms in total. It is centered around 2 mansions with a total floor area comparable to a professional football field, 57,000 square feet, which contain multiple elevators, offices, conference rooms. For what? But like for what?
Well, this is the above ground stuff. So this is where a whole bunch of rich a-holes go on a regular basis to live away from everyone else.
That's great, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and also an industrial sized kitchen. Now, in a nearby wooded area, a web of 11 disc-shaped tree houses are planned. That actually sounds pretty lit. Like I'm a fan of tree houses, I've always wanted one, which will be connected by intricate rope bridges. This sounds really good, allowing visitors to cross from one building to the next while staying among the treetops. A building on the other side of the main mansions will include a full-size gym, meh, pools, meh, sauna, hot tub, definitely, cold plunge, not interested, and tennis court. The property is dotted with other guest houses and operations buildings.
Isn't it nice to have a property that's dotted with houses? Just a sprinkling of houses. I love that your fantasy, by the way, is to live as an Ewok.
No,
like that's all you want.
Wouldn't that be so cool to have like a series of tree houses on your property that you can like go like and then use like the rope bridges to travel to?
I mean, yeah, I want to be an elf as much as the next guy, sure. I don't know. I think having a house, I think for most people is a pretty nice dream.
Dude, I've given up on that dream. It's over.
Yeah,
it's over. It's never gonna happen. I'm okay. I have a condo. I'm very, very fortunate. I'm not gonna complain. But if that hasn't made you wanna, ensure that we're actually having the wealthiest people among us pay their fair share in taxes, wait till you hear the next part. According to sources and planning documents reviewed by Wired, the compound will be self-sufficient with its own water tank, 55 feet in diameter and 11 feet tall, along with a pump system. A variety of food is already produced across its 1,400 acres through ranching and agriculture. I gotta say, it's kind of impressive, and it makes me think of that HBO show. I'm forgetting the name.
The Last of Us?
Yes, The Last of Us, where there was the more libertarian guy who like built his his whole situation that was self-sustaining. He's growing his own food. They're drinking like fancy wine.
Yeah.
It is good to plan ahead.
It is, I guess, if you expect the apocalypse. That's of course the above ground thing.
Yeah.
Like if there's an apocalypse, if there's a nuclear apocalypse or something like that, then that's not going to be sustainable. Also, who's working those farms? Zuckerberg? Is he pulling up turnips and stuff like that?
No, but this is good. I mean, he's going to save a few workers in the apocalypse because he needs someone to do the agricultural work.
They could avoid all of these apocalypses and still be wealthier than the emperors of old. But instead, they risk utter societal collapse so that they can have 11 tree houses instead of 7 tree houses.
Yeah.
That's what the rich do.
Yeah.
Their boundless dragon sickness is gonna doom us all because they need to have 1,400 acres instead of 900 acres or whatever.
So the plans show that the 2 central mansions will be joined by a tunnel that branches off into a 5,000 square foot underground shelter featuring living space, a mechanical room, an escape hatch that can be accessed via ladder. The door in the underground shelter will be constructed out of metal and filled in with concrete, a style common in bunkers and bomb shelters. I can't help but think about birds with this story, because the reason why birds are dinosaurs is because they were around when dinosaurs were around and they survived the asteroid because some of them lived underground.
I see where you're going with this.
You get what I'm saying?
So you're saying someday, flash forward past the apocalypse, 100 million years, you have a tiny little Mark Zuckerberg-like bird.
No,
he's evolved.
What's gonna happen is there's gonna be an entirely new species that goes Zuckerberg watching, right?
Who are the humans that are gonna be? Oh, you mean some future thing?
I'm just kidding.
Oh
no, this is all dystopian. This is all awful. Welcome to America, and welcome to an unfair system that overwhelmingly benefits people who hoard all this wealth and spend it on nonsense.